Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our Swadhyaya online reading retreat labs. So we are reading Gita for daily enrichment by His Grace Chaitanya Charandas Prabhuji. So let's then continue today's reading. I will just share my screen. Yeah. So we will be reading from today chapter number 5, verse number 10. It says, from touch me not to touch me not. So what does it mean? We'll try to understand from here. So it is like based on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 5, verse number 10. So first let's see the translation of this verse. The verse number 10 says, one who performs in his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Now let's read through the paragraph. Gita for Daily Enrichment series. We all need a sense of security in our lives. Often we seek that security by trying to build a cocoon around us, by trying to control our lives with an ironclad set of plans, patterns, and routines. Unfortunately, life frequently cracks and occasionally crushes the cocoon. People don't behave the way we had expected them to. Events don't turn out the way we had anticipated they would. Our own body and mind do not cooperate the way we had presumed they would. These three hope dashers are known in Vedic parlance as Adhi Bhautik Kles, Adhi Daivik Kles, and Adhyatmika Klesa respectively. Okay, so we will just highlight it. So the three things. So we will again repeat it. We can see people do not behave the way we had expected them to. Events do not turn out the way we had anticipated they would. Our own body and mind do not cooperate the way we had presumed they would. So we can see our own body when it comes to and mind do not cooperate the way we had presumed to be. So this is your Adhyatmika Klesa. Similarly, when I say Adhidaivik, this is your the events which do not turn out the way we had anticipated they would, that is Radhyatmik. And people do not behave the way we had expected them to. Okay. So these are the three things we have to remember. It is very frequent, will come in our with your Bhagavad Gita as well, right? So Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik less. Okay. When our hopes get thus dashed, we sometimes go into an hyper defensive mode, resenting whatever goes wrong and lashing out at whoever we feel is to be blamed. We become somewhat like a human touch-me-nots, two-legged versions of the plant which hyper-reacts to any threatening stimulus. We find ourselves exploding at small provocations. Nothing seems to help. Gita wisdom can help where all else fails. It helps us to understand that the problem lies not in the outer situation, but in our inner expectations. So we have to highlight this as well. Problem lies not in the outer situations, but in our inner expectations. We are expecting security where it just doesn't exist at the material level, where change is inevitable and inescapable. We need to seek security in the right place, at the unchanging spiritual level, in our eternal identity and our everlasting relationship with Krishna. Once we find that inner security, material upheavals lose their sting, we function at the material level without being affected by it, like a lotus leaf untouched by water, as the Bhagavad Gita 5.10 indicates. This doesn't mean that we become stone-like, but that we become motivated by a spiritual vision and the devotional purpose that dwarfs material upheavals. Maybe you'll be finding some terms, maybe new for you. You can find the meaning, okay, upheavals. So this mean you'll be finding here a violent or sudden change or disruption to something. So you can find also some sentences around it, an upward displacement of the trust, a violent sudden change or disruption to the something major. Yeah. Similarly, the dwarfs you already know. So all of you, it is actually short-heighted. Yeah, that's the meaning of it. Similarly, you maybe some other terms. I don't think there are so difficult. Then adversities enter into the depart from our lives, but our core remains untouched. Again, we will repeat the translation of this verse, chapter number 5, verse number 10. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Yeah. So we will stop here and we will continue with the read in the upcoming days. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.